Hello, YouTube. It's me, Lady Vet, bringing a review of Season 4, Episode 4 of Power Book 2 Ghost. What we know, Tariq wants revenge and won't stop, can't stop. The Tejada kids are fragile. Monet wants to settle in her mind that she is a good drug-dealing mother. Davis is struggling since he can't practice law, and Don Carter wants them all in orange jumpsuits. Then we find out that this episode gets us one step closer to the mid-season finale, where Tariq and Braden and Monet and Kane are on the same page, at least momentarily. They are looking for Drew and Diana, and all are in agreement that they both deserve a bullet in the brain. Although Kane doesn't trust Tariq, this one thing he definitely agrees with. Drew and Diana spend time driving around trying to understand how things got to where they are as they run through the possibilities in their mind of what's next for them. Tariq left Diana's room and somehow ended up in Effie's room, of all people, talking about the Diana-Drew situation. Effie pretty much asked Tariq, what did he expect? Kane puts the word on the street that he wants Drew and Diana. Drew and Diana are hiding out in a hotel room, afraid and clueless, but Monet has a clue from their hotel charges, and after making her way to the hotel, she only wants to know where are her kids. At the same time, Drew finds out from Diana that she left Monet a trail to follow. Monet runs out of patience and pistol whips the hotel attendant, making her the first one to get to Drew and Diana. This turns real messy real fast. Monet wants her children to tell her how could they do what they did, since she taught them the game, gave them life. Sounds good, but not to Drew, who never wanted to be in the game, and believes that everything Monet gave them, they never wanted, including a dead father. So Drew called Monet a bitch. Diana pushed Monet down, and they ran for their lives. By the time Kane checked in, Monet recuperated from the push, but Drew and Diana got away to live a little longer. Kamal Tate is trying to earn his respect by running to Carter with what he knows. Clearly, Carter doesn't respect Kamal because his focus is on Tariq, and that's what he wants Kamal to focus on as well. Carter told Kamal that he needs him to fall in line and that it's his task force. And if he don't like it, he can get his own. Now, time will tell if this really happens. And where's Governor Tate, by the way? Drew and Diana have resorted to sleeping in the car until Drew has an idea of getting to the stash house for cash, but wants Diana in a safe place. Tariq is not giving up, so he checks for Diana at work, but nothing there. Tariq and Braden realize that Diana is probably not at Stansfield, so Tariq reaches out to Pinky, his go-to set of eyes. Now, Braden wants Tariq to focus on their new business. We know that Tariq has a problem with letting things go, so sorry, Braden. Monet and Kane are desperately trying to find Drew and Diana. Kane told Monet that he is pretty sure that he knows where Drew is at and promised Monet that they won't get away with what they've done. With Monet still stressing, Janet stopped her and told her to listen. Janet told Monet to get it together because Detective Carter is in the house. Carter accused Monet of torching the dope van, and knowing that Tariq was around during her shooting, Monet knew nothing. So Carter left his calling card with her. Norma had to meet with Davis. Guess she does like cheeky. She's got Davis listening to her plans to solidify one of her businesses and secure contracts. Davis tells Norma about a political event where she can meet player Wally Adams. Davis also warns her of his aide and gatekeeper, Kevin. Norma appreciated Davis's intel and wanted to know the cost, but Davis wanted to talk about that later. Davis's mind was on the time to pick Norma up for the event. Norma's mind was on who she wanted to escort her. Mr. Hurricane. Tired of riding around and needing cash, Diana's plan was to go to Salim's while Drew go out and get the cash from one of their stash houses. Diana apologized about how things ended between them and pleaded with Salim to come inside. As Drew departed to find money for them to get out of town, Pinky did what Pinky does, informed Tariq, who is on the way. Drew arrives to the stash spot but found nothing but Brother Kane pointing a gun at him. Kane wanted Drew to say something about trying to kill Monet. Drew flipped it and asked Kane if he was tight because they tried to kill her without him. It is obvious that Drew is very angry, and with that comes telling everyone what he really feels. No holding back from Drew. So he asked Kane, how does Monet keep getting a pass? But the game is the game, and that's all that Kane knows. Drew got in Kane's head about not feeling like he and Diana at the loss of Lorenzo. Kane began feeling sorry for himself about not getting the respect that he deserved from his dad. Mostly the dad's decision to go around him to make Drew his number two. In his weakness, Drew gets Kane's gun, but he can't kill him, so he yelled out in frustration and ran away. Norma called Kane to come to her house in 1 hour. Kane told her that he was in the middle of something, but Norma told him that it's a demand, not a request. Norma had no idea what kind of day that Kane was having. Braden was spending time with Elle. He also was breaking a dope boy's rule of getting high on his own supply, and he is giving out a lot of information, talking with this girl, something that will come back to bite him. The more Braden talked, the more Elle wanted to understand, at least until Braden told her that she can't pretend that she's got an issue with drugs. She told Braden that she sees him, but he wanted her to not see him, kept things on the low, and not tell anyone else in their band. Elle wanted product off the top for free, to be quiet. Braden told her that Tariq would have a problem with that. So as she sniffed, she told Braden that they won't tell Tariq. This is the beginning of Tariq and Braden separating. Kamal decided to follow Cotter's instructions and talk to Tariq. It seems as if no one really takes Kamal seriously. Tariq told Kamal that he is putting a target on his back if he's telling Monet that someone fitting his description was on the scene when she got shot. Monet texted Tariq about Cotter's visit at the same time. Tariq asked Kamal what did he tell Monet, but Kamal couldn't say, and Tariq told Kamal that he had to go. Monet is stressing out when Janet comes to give her her medication. Janet told Monet that she thought that Lorenzo was the problem long ago, but now knows that it's been Monet all along. Monet told Janet that she can go back to Atlanta and not talk about her and her kids in her house. Janet told Monet that she doesn't know her own kids, not enough to know that Diana is pregnant. Monet is in disbelief. Diana is pouring her soul into Salim, but she's not telling him that she's pregnant. She thought that Drew would have picked her up, and she becomes anxious, so she tells him that it's better if he doesn't know what's going on with her. They apologized for things said in the past, and Salim encouraged Diana to be great. Diana broke down about having to leave town before something happens and being scared. Salim offered her a safe place at his parents' spot, gave her keys, and told her to leave through the back in the car, and he would get it later. I think that Salim is Diana's baby daddy. Diana has Salim promised to not reveal her location, but Salim ain't built like that. Norma's got her escort for the political event, but what does Kane know about politics? While Norma is admiring the leveled up Kane, he is contacted by Monet. Now, this is the second time in a day that Kane is taunted about being Monet's boy. Norma tells Cain not to keep Mommy waiting and that he works for her and not Monet. Cain tells Norma that they have a situation, but Norma wants to know if Cain needs maternal security versus being his own man. Norma wants Cain off of Monet's tit. Cain ignores Monet and attends to Norma and where they were going for her to close the business deal. To the contrary, Cain was not out of his element. He blended in very well with Norma. She pointed out what's at stake and her goal for the evening. Norma needed Cain to keep Wiley's aide occupied. She told Cain about Kevin and a bit of his background, that he was rough around the edges, and for Cain to make it work for him. Cain had Donnie get eyes on Drew. Norma put confidence in Cain as he basically replaced Obi. Cain got in with Kevin and redirected his attention away from Wiley, while Norma conducted her business. Donnie found Drew, and Cain left Kevin having what he called a work emergency. Tariq knocked at Salim's door in his efforts to find Diana. Tariq walked past Salim on a mission, but Diana was not there. Tariq told Salim that his people had eyes on Diana, and they said that she was there. Salim called Tariq's people liars. Tariq shoved Salim against the wall, and he begins to say that Diana was there and left. Since he didn't know where Diana went, Tariq put some motivation in his face. Salim stalled a bit until Tariq put one in the chamber. Salim sang like a bird. When Tariq told him how easy it was to bitch up, Salim tried to take the gun from Tariq and got shot during the tussle. Tariq wasted no time getting out of there. Drew and Diana talked about where she was posted up at and how Drew was still trying to get money. Diana wanted Drew to come to her and they figure out their next move, but Drew wanted to make another stop because he realized that they could do nothing without cash. Monet is overwhelmed with what is true and what is not. Monet is now forced to look at her decisions, good or bad, right or wrong. She's now faced with trying to kill her children who did what they were taught to do. Knowing that Diana is pregnant, Monet knows that she will also kill her grandchild if she puts Diana down. Monet reflects back to the time when she took Drew to a business meet. Drew stressed to Monet that he wanted to be at an art event, but instead, Monet had her young son on a drug run that went bad. Drew shot the guy that was fighting with his mother. Monet made him feel like he did the right thing and slapped him for being scared, for crying, and in shock. Janet came in to tell Monet that she was packed and ready to go when she found a depressed Monet. Monet told Janet that she taught her kids to hate her, and she doesn't blame them for where they are as a family. Like a voice of reason, Janet explained to Monet that regardless of what's going on, she's their mother and they are her babies. Janet told Monet that as long as they are breathing, they still have time and that love will bring them back together. Drew's at another stash location where he finds cash and Cain finds him, robbing the stash spot. This time, Cain isn't feeling sorry for himself and tells Drew that all the stuff ends now. Monet contacts Cain, who tells her that he is with Drew. But Monet tells Cain not to kill his brother and put Drew on the phone. Cain wants to put a bullet in Drew, and he has Monet in his ear telling him that he's still her son and his brother. Cain gives Drew the phone. Monet tells Drew that she needs to know where Diana is before Tariq finds her. She told Drew that she wants to save her and not kill her. Drew texted Diana's address to Monet. Drew taunts Cain about being on a mission to take him out and not doing it because Mommy says so. Drew told Cain that it was pathetic and that he's always going to be a mama's boy. Cain couldn't kill Drew, but he could beat the brakes off of him, throw him out of the penthouse, and remove him from working for Norma. And that's exactly what he did. Bye bye, Drew, and your mouth. Diana's in a safe place at Salim's parents' spot and doesn't hear the front door glass break as Tariq lets himself in. He heads to the kitchen and tells Diana how relaxed she looked for someone having a target on her back. Diana run, but right into Tariq's gun. Diana pleads for her life. She tells Tariq how wrong she was and how she'd undo everything if she could. Tariq was not moved by Diana's words because to protect her and Drew, they put Tasha's life at stake. Diana begged while looking down the barrel and telling Tariq that he couldn't shoot her. When he asked why, Monet enters and aims at Tariq, answering because she's pregnant. Tariq's caught off guard. Then he asks what it got to do with him and why should he care. Tariq is showing us that he can be as cold as ghost. Diana answers in fear of her life because it's yours. Tariq has no time to think. Monet tells him to put the gun down, that she knows he was with them trying to kill her, and that he pulled the trigger and was on the scene. Tariq aimed at Monet. Then she said she had a better idea than taking each other out. They all give each other a pass. Monet told Tariq that she only cared about her family's safety, including her grandbaby. Tariq was messed up by this recent news and he ran out. Monet and Diana hugged it out. So what's next for Drew since he can't fulfill his goal of being Norma's number two? I'm sure he's got a lot to think about as he packs his things to move out of the penthouse. Drew's got nothing but anger for Monet and now Kane, leaving him as a dangerous man. Norma was enjoying a drink when Kane came back after his family business. Norma asked if he got it sorted. Kane told her that he did, and he thought about what she said earlier. Kane took her drink for himself and told her that he ain't no mama's boy, and he ain't her boy. Kane disrobed her as she quietly listened to Kane tell her that he is his own man while she melted in his arms. This is a deadly duo. We're knocking on the door of the mid-season episode as Tariq heads down a tunnel-like hallway to observe his new business in effect. Given that Tariq just discovered that he's about to be a daddy to the baby mama that he was about to kill, given that he got the news from the baby grandma who his mom tried to kill, but now she wants a safety net around her family and Tariq gets a walking pass. Phew. I would say that Tariq had a busy day and really needs to free his mind. Good news, Braden's got their business on lock, so he was proud to walk Tariq through the process, from t-shirts with an added Coke bag to water bottles to wash down the pills that came with them. Braden talked about how their parties would be announced and how their codes, links, and apps worked. No lie. Tariq told Braden that he needed to hit the smoke that Braden had. Tariq St. Patrick, drinking and smoking. But does he have a lot going on? Just as a child, most of what Tariq's got going on, he brings on himself. Seems like not much has changed. While at the bar smoking, Tariq spots a young lady on the other end of the bar. This baby daddy makes his way to her and offers to pay for her drink. He tells her that he's Tariq. She tells him that she can pay for her own drinks. He could see that, but wanted to know why should she. She was impressed and introduced herself as Anya. Tariq was pleased to meet Anya. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until the next time, guys.